There was once a young prince who had everything the world could offer: power, wealth, admiration. Yet he was restless. Despite the abundance surrounding him, his heart felt hollow. One day, an old monk came to his palace and said, "You have everything, yet you are poorer than a beggar outside. Let me teach you the secret to true happiness." The prince, desperate for peace, agreed to learn, and what he discovered changed his life, and it could change yours too. Today, I will share that secret with you. It is not found in more possessions, more achievements, or more recognition. The secret lies in something surprising: detachment. But don't misunderstand me. Detachment is not about giving up everything or living in isolation. It is about freeing your heart from the chains of constant craving and attachment. Let me explain. The prince asked the old monk, "How can I be happy if I let go of what I love? My treasures, my relationships, my dreams." The monk smiled and took the prince to a riverbank. There, he handed the prince a stone and said, "Hold this tight and step into the water." The prince did as he was told. As he waded deeper, the weight of the stone pulled him down. The monk asked, "Why are you sinking?" The prince replied, "Because of the stone." The monk nodded and said, "Then let it go." The prince dropped the stone and found himself floating easily. The monk said, "This is detachment. You don't need to let go of the river, but you must let go of the weight. Life is like the river. It's meant to flow freely. But when we cling to things, our possessions, our expectations, our fears, they weigh us down. We sink under the pressure, unable to experience the joy of simply being. Detachment is not about rejection. It is about release. When you stop holding so tightly, you create space for peace and happiness to flow in. Let me tell you another story. A farmer once lost his horse. His neighbors came to console him, saying, "What bad luck." The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returned, bringing with it 2 wild horses. The neighbors exclaimed, "What good fortune." The farmer again said, "Maybe." Later, the farmer's son tried to tame one of the wild horses and broke his leg in the process. The neighbors lamented, "How unfortunate." The farmer smiled and said, "Maybe." Soon after, the army came to recruit young men for war, but left the farmer's son because of his injury. The neighbors said, "How lucky." And the farmer replied, "Maybe." This story teaches us that life is unpredictable. Clinging to outcomes only creates suffering. When we detach from the need to label events as good or bad, we find peace. So, how can you practice detachment in your life? Start small. Reflect on what you are holding on to too tightly. Is it a fear of failure? A need for approval? Material possessions? Ask yourself, if I let this go, will I sink or will I float? Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means caring deeply, but without dependence. Love without expectation. Work with passion, but without obsession. Live fully, but without fear of loss. The prince, after learning the art of detachment, found peace not by renouncing his kingdom, but by changing his heart. He ruled wisely, loved fully, and lived freely. And so can you. True happiness isn't found in what you hold on to. It's found in what you're willing to let go of. Remember, the river of life will carry you. All you need to do is release the stone.